Well, alright. Welcome to another one of BumpmyStump's World of Tanks Garage Series videos. Yes, I got it right this time. I didn't say replays or anything. I actually said Garage Series videos. We're on to the German. The tanks I have in my garage currently, January 2nd, right? Because it's past midnight, so January 2nd, 2021. Oh my god, where did 2020 go? So these are the tanks that are currently in my garage at this point. This video is probably going to be between 30 and 45 minutes, I'm guessing, by the amount of tanks I have. But I'll try to make it as quick as possible. But, you know, if you follow me, you know I'm a blabbermouth, so we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it ain't too much longer than that, because it is 2:40 a.m. The lull tractor, or whatever they call it, the picture was wrong. Leech tractor, whatever. Everyone calls it the lull tractor. This used to be my go-to tank when I had a bunch of crappy games before I got my tier 3 T27 and PZS 35. I always used to drop down to this and go do some puppy stomping. But haven't done that in a long time. But this was the go-to puppy stomping tank at one point, at least for me anyways. PZ38H, this is what used to be known as the Micro Mouse, because the armor was just boss at tier 2, and sort of like the lull tractor, the PZS38H's day has come and gone. It's been outclassed for a while now. It's just armor that used to be awesome is barely mediocre nowadays. I did try to play this probably a couple months ago, probably during the WWE hop, somewhere in that ballpark, and it just, I think I tried 2 or 3 games in it, and no, not for me. Doesn't work anymore. Or maybe I just got some of them games that were just absolutely atrocious. PZ3E, you know, I don't know why this is even in my garage. It's under my favorites, because if you go to my favorites, if you'll notice, a lot of these small tanks and favorites, I hide my favorites. That's the only way you can really hide tanks you don't play, so it's definitely not a favorite. I don't even remember this tank. I don't even know why I still have it. A lot of tanks I keep when I put permanent camo on them. As you can see, this has no permanent camo. No idea. Don't know. Don't remember the tank. Don't remember playing the tank. Don't remember if it's good or bad. PZT15, same thing. This is a premium, that's probably why I didn't sell it, but I must have got this in a drop or something, because I don't ever remember. I just don't remember playing it. Don't remember anything about it. Back to this one though, PZ3E, that's got quite a bit of XP sitting on it. So it makes me wonder, upgrades, what's it go up to? What's the next tank? There is no upgrades. Available XP to convert, 0. How does that make any sense? Available XP to convert, 0. But if I go back here, it's got 14,898 XP on it. Sorry, I hit my mic. Tell me, I'm just going to move on. This update and shit, just... This right here is supposedly one of the most sought-after tanks in the PC version of World of Tanks. At one time, people were paying hundreds of dollars to get their hands on this. On World of Tank console, I don't know how you could originally get it, but ever since I've known, if you let your Microsoft account run out, Wargaming would offer you this to sign back up. And I didn't do it for a long time. I had it on the old lady's account, and because I just didn't have that one on auto update. My account's always been on auto update. Finally, one year I said, you know something, I'm going to shut the not auto update, but auto subscribe, whatever, off so I can get this tank. And I've never had a good game in it. The armor was supposed to be so troll at tier 3. And the thought was the armor was so great and the gun was so bad. So you had to run premium and it would cost you $100,000 to play a game. And if that was the case, and you had decent games in it, I'd be okay with doing that once in a while, spending $100,000 to go play for and just rape the red team. It doesn't happen that way on console version. Like every other version of this, every other tank in this game, console version tanks are numbed down. There is nothing that's any better or worse than any other tank in the game. And if it is, they'll soon nerf it. So I don't know if when this first came out, if it was a monster and then they nerfed it or what, but ever since I had it on either account, it's been trash, really. At least I've never been... Maybe you have to play it 100 times to get that one game where it just bosses. I don't know. Obviously, with the XP, I haven't played it 100 times. M41 German Bulldog, the captured Bulldog. I think this is the best looking one in the game. I really didn't play it much because I'm not much of a light tanker. But if you want a Bulldog, this is one of the best. This is, I think, the best looking one in the game. You notice I got the American flags on it because, yeah, you can't say German. I actually played this a few times when I first got it, and I had the American flags on, and I asked someone, I didn't ask someone, someone asked me, how do you get that camo on your Bulldog? I don't got that camo. I'm like, dude, look at the thing. It's a German tank. It's German camo. That's like the second time that's happened to me. I had another one, M10 Panther, way back when that first came out in the game. I had that, and of course you have American camo on it, but it's a M10 rather, so you had German camo on an American tank. People ask me, well, how'd you get that camo? Well, it's a German tank. This little tank, I'm not a light tank player, but every game so far I've played in this, which hasn't been a lot, keep in mind, sample size is very small. Every game I've played in this except for one has been a fun game that I've done okay, or done good. I have a video coming out sometime here, I think, in the next couple weeks with this tank. It wasn't a god game or nothing, but it was a good, fun game, so I like this tank so far. But it's a small sample size. I've only played 10 or 12 games in it. But it's plastic. It's a good gun on a fast little tank. PZS-35, this is one of my go-tos when I play upper tiers and just can't get a good game, and my win rate is down and everything else because I'm put on a team where the whole team is dead within the first 4 minutes, except for 2 of us. I had a game earlier in the Object 705. Within 5 minutes, I was the only one left. It was a 15-0 route. 5 minutes. 5 minutes, people. Excuse me, I need a drink. 5 minutes, I was the only one left. Ended up being a 15-0 route. So, times like that, this is one of my go-to tanks to jump down to counteract how bad this game cheats players. People say, like, when they upper tier, just play better and just worry about yourself, don't worry about the win. It's not about the win. It's about within 4 minutes you're surrounded by 7 tanks and you die. So you get 4 or 5 shots in, you do 2,000 damage, and that's it. 2,000 damage is nothing in a tier 9 tank that does 400 damage a shot. So you don't ever get a decent gain, decent win rate in it. So when that happens, I drop down. This is one of the tanks I drop down to. Still to this day, it's awesome. A little lackluster at tier 4 against like Matildas. It just doesn't like penetrating Matildas at all. It can get one-shotted by some of the more powerful tank destroyers at tier 4. But if you play kind of smart, kind of careful, you can have good games in this. PZ4 Hydro. I'm one of the fools that bought this when it first came out. I think I paid like ungodly figure. I sit here and look at it offered now for like 2,000 all the time and stuff, gold. Or I think when this came out, don't quote me, but not the op, but the thing was, you had to buy this, 30 days of premium, so many somethings. Ended up being like, I don't know, I can't even remember, but it was an ungodly amount. I remember saying, oh my god, I'm not going to buy that. And then say, no, but they said it's going to be exclusive, one time only offered one time. So Bump, if you want the special tank that's only going to be offered this once, no one else is ever going to be able to get it again after this sale. Yeah. And just like every other fucking tank in the game, they say that about 6 weeks later, it's fucking on. This one wasn't. This one's probably. They used to do this. And then a year later or so, they used to reoffer it. It wasn't so bad. At least you had the tank for a year, being one of only 5,000 or something that bought it. Nowadays, they give you this tank, and they put on it, great tank, unpenetrable, beast, only available for a limited time. Own this piece of one of once in a chance piece of World of Tanks armor, blah blah blah, and then 2 months later they're giving it away for free. Really pisses me off. But this one was ungodly expensive. I don't remember. Someone that's been around for a long time, do you remember what it was? I think this was my first Radley Walters, though, was in this tank. Or was it a... No, it was 10 kill. I think I have the video. I think it was a 10 kill game. So what is that? That's not a Radley. Is that a Radley Walters 10 kill? I think so. Or is it 8? I don't remember. But, yeah, this was the first one I ever had one of them monster games in. So, I've kept it over the years. It did give me that one really, really good game, I guess, right? Guess it was exclusive. Was it worth the money I spent? No. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. It's the Corona. BZ T25. Premium tank that I never play. Just don't get rid of it because it's a premium. PZ34, another premium tank that I never play. I don't remember where I got these. I've had them so long, I don't know if I bought them or if they were some kind of, I think I must have bought these because these have been in here forever. I don't know if they've ever offered those in a drop or anything. Oh, look at that, the camo changed. I talked about that the last video. That sometimes the camo just changes. And then if you want it to change, it won't. It'll always be the same. You won't be able to get it to change again. Neither one of these tanks will change, watch. They will always be that. But when you don't want to change, you just go like this, all of a sudden it changes. PZ3K. I bought this tank not long ago. I don't think I ever went through it before. I don't think I ever purchased it way back. But it was probably in the last 2 years. It was such an awesome looking little tank. I was like, hey, you know something? I want that little thing. Look at that. How can you go wrong when a tank looks like that? Sexy. Are you sexy? I'm sexy. Sorry. Again, it's 2:40 in the morning. PZ45. I never owned this until a few months ago. Everyone said, you have to buy it, you have to buy it. Everyone talked about how great it was, how much of a ramming boss machine it was, and I've had a few good games in it. Only played it a few times, had a couple iffy games in it. But it seems like it's a fun tank. I don't know, at tier 5 I'd rather play the Captured KV1 though. That's just my playstyle, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it's just the love for the KV1. PZ4S, yeah. Bought this way back. Played it a handful of times, never touched it again. 3002M. I didn't sell this because I bought all the permanent camo on it. I don't remember if this leads up to the... I don't remember what tank it leads to. I don't really care, I guess. It's not that memorable. I just didn't sell it because I had purchased permanent camo, so... I'm that type of person where it's like, oh god, if I purchase that permanent camo with gold. Ain't no way I'm getting rid of the tank. PZM10. Excuse me, that was a yawn. Now that's what should happen at 2:40 in the morning, not sneezing. PZM10, this is the one I was talking about before. It was an M10 that or was a PZ whatever that they made look like an M10, whatever, I don't know. An American cam. I think I said it backwards last time. I don't remember. I think they took a German tank, tried to make it look like an M10, and then put American camo on it, so you had a German tank with American camo. I don't remember. I could look at the camo, but I'm too lazy. Whatever the story is, although I think I had one of my first Radley Walters. I think another one of my first Radley Walters was in this one. Might not have. Maybe it was just, I don't remember what it was. I remember having a game. I have a video up somewhere of a pretty good game in this tank, and I pulled off a win, and maybe it was just a really good game. I don't remember. But it was a long time ago, because I haven't played this for probably 4.5, 5 years anyways, probably 6 years. Panther. I never went up the E50 line until recently, so eventually got to the Panther. It's not a horrible tank, but it's definitely not a great tank. There's many other tanks I'd love to play at tier 7 besides this. But again, permanent camo, so, you know. Now, the Indian Panzer, on the other hand, this tank was awesome for me. Do I have a mark of excellence on the barrel, I think? I think I have one yet. That's when I ended up getting all the way through it. I used to play this one when I was always platooned up with the Great Joe, and I just had so many. This armor is so troll. It's the angle and the roundness, and if you go search some of my videos, you'll see quite a few videos where I put up that I just had really good games in this tank. The armor was just good enough that you could play it like, if you didn't have many heavies in the game, you could actually play it a little bit like a heavy. It had that good of armor, reliable armor, but it also was quick enough so you could play it like it's supposed to be, like a medium. It just really good, and it had decent gun depression. It just really good overall tank. Panther M8. Well, Panther 8.8, I should say, not M8. I didn't buy this for a long time either. Let's see if we can get the camo to change, because that's ugly. Ah, look at that. That's better. I originally didn't buy this tank. So many people owned it, and like the other stories, geez, Bump, you gotta get that tank. So then I bought it. Played it a few times, haven't played it a ton. It's just a Panther with a little bit more punchier gun, really. The PZ58 Mutts, I would think, would play a lot like this right here, but guess what? It doesn't. At least not the games that I've tried. You would think because the hull is rounded like that and angled back, you'd get some good games. Sorry, I had to yawn again. I could never muster a really good game in this. Barely average every time I take it out. And it's ugly. Panther 2, quite a step above the Panther, but still not great. Horrible stock grind. But it's not a horrible tank. And it kind of leads to the E50 playstyle, so it makes sense. Leopard PTA, one of my favorite tier 9 mediums. I haven't played it for quite a while, but this thing is too fast for its own good. Get you into trouble when you're not paying attention, but then again, it can get you out of trouble pretty quick too. But just really awesome tank. 50T, KPZ 50T, I think this is a really cool looking tank. I've never mustered sorry, I shouldn't do these videos at 2:40 in the morning. God, I'm horrible. Or I should wake up. I've never mustered a really great game in it. Been completely average, but it's a pretty cool tank. I like the looks of it. I want to have a good game in it, but just haven't had that yet. E50, I'm still on, not completely stock, but not completely upgraded. So far, I've had okay games in it. Nothing great, really, but okay. You know, it's held its own. Maybe I've been lucky. Leopard 1, awesome tank. Awesome looking tank, look at that. Now, that's one sexy tank. I think I like the German camo the best out of all the camos. It just makes that tank look awesome. They had some pretty good artists, or some pretty good something, because they had some really good camo. PZB2, this is the tank I used to compare with the PZS-35. This one played a lot like it, but it was a tier 4, and it always would see tier 4, but it never saw anything but tier 4. But it wasn't much better than the PZS-35. And the PZS-35 way back then saw up to tier 5. So your option was play this and only see tier 4, or play the PZS-35. And sometimes you got tier 5 games, but most of the time you got it the same as this, tier 4, tier 3. And if you, with the PZS-35, you could actually get tier 3 games. And when the PZS-35 was tier 3 only, which you played tier 2s and 3s, it was such a beast. So I always liked the PZS-35 because every once in a while you could get a really good game when you're puppy stomping everything. This right here, you always had to see tier 4s, and it's basically a little bit stronger hull with the same basic turret, and the turret's just so weak on it. Captured KV-1 is one of my go-to tanks for days with bad games. It's a beast. I've said this before in one of my videos. If you don't own this, you should. If you want to see how it plays before you buy it, just equip a Tech Tree KV-1 with, like, I think it's a 75mm. Is that right? Is that what this has on it? Let's see. Modules, 57mm. Equip your equip your captured KV-1. No, equip your KV-1 with the 57mm, and it's going to cost you a lot of silver. But that is how this plays. So you can play this tank without owning this tank, really. Just have a regular KV-1 and load up the premium and put the small gun on it and just load the premium to it, and you'll see how this plays. It's a really good tank. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still really good. VK-3001H, another tank that obviously is a Tech Tree tank. Was leading up to something. Did I like it? I don't remember. It didn't leave that much of a... I think this led to the Tiger P or some of that line. I think it actually led to 3601 and then 3601 to the Tiger P, would be my guess. Didn't love it. Don't really remember it that much. Actually, you know, I think the 3001H, I think, was a better tank than the 3601H. One of these two was better. And I always kept it, because I said, I think it's probably the 3001. Or I would have got rid of it at tier 5. And I was like, geez, it's better than the 3601, so... But that was so long ago. That was so many years ago, going up this line. Tiger P. I actually like the Tiger P. I like it more than the Tiger. It's maybe nowadays it's not, but it had really good armor. It had better armor than the Tiger. And as long as you could keep that cupola moving and you didn't get hit in it, you'd have quite a few awesome games. Tiger 1, what can you say about the Tiger 1? It's a Tiger. I don't think this tank was ever that good. I didn't love it. I skipped it originally because I didn't want to play the Tiger at all. I wanted the Tiger too, and I wanted to go up further up the line, but I didn't. I knew this tank. Some people said it was good, but I looked at the profile and how square it is. I'm like, no, that front's going to get penetrated by everything. The Hammer, this was, I think, one of the first ops you could win. Tanks you could win through an op, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. And the only reason I liked it, because it had John Deere snowmobile colors on the side. There was a year that John Deere snowmobiles came with orange, red, and black for color scheme. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's just a Tiger. It's nothing special. Same with this, Tiger 131. So many people out there say this is just the boss. boss at tier 7. I must suck because I don't think it's a boss. I think it's just a tiger. It's a hammer. The hammer, I have videos up. I don't love it. Maybe that's because every game I got in it when I first started playing it were idiot teams. When I first got the tank, it was idiot team after idiot team after idiot team after idiot team. So I gave up. When I jumped in the Tiger 31, pretty much the same. I gotta carry more. Gotta learn to carry more. VK4503, yeah. I don't have anything bad or good to say about this. It's just, it is what it is. Tiger 2. Now we're back to the awesome camo. Look at that. If that isn't unbelievably sexy. Yes, you are sexy. Now the Tiger 2, much better than the Tiger 1. This is a side-scraping monster. If you can get this on a map where you can go side-scrape your butt off, a lot of times you can just dominate a whole corner as long as they don't rush you. The other team doesn't rush, you can just bounce after shot after bounce shot after bounce shot after bounce shot. Not as good for wide open maps, but still really good tank. 𝐁𝐮𝐫𝐚𝐬𝐬 Black. I used to have the 𝐁𝐿𝐵, and the old lady bought me a bunch of black tanks. As anyone knows the story, I've mentioned this a couple different times. Go find it in one of my other videos. But I wasn't going to buy them, and then I had them because she was trying to be nice. So I got rid of my actual 𝐁𝐿𝐵. Usually don't get rid of premium tanks, but I never played the 𝐁𝐿𝐵 anyway, so I figured if I ever do want to play it, I can just use this one. I don't think I've played this twice. I don't play any of my black tanks. VK100P, yeah, nothing good to say about this. Nothing bad, nothing good. Whoops. It is what it is. It's a baby mouse. It's a tier 8 mouse. King Tiger. Sorry, had to yawn again. This tank right here, I haven't played a ton. Just a few times. I had a couple good games in it, a couple horrible games in it. And, you know, it's pretty much I just purchased it because I'm a sucker for buying tanks. I'm a tank whore. I've said that before too. Just a tank whore. I like my tanks, man. Icebreaker. I bought this. I wasn't gonna when it was gonna. And I finally logged on. The last day it was available. I'm like, fuck it. And up until the other day, I had yet to play it. It's just been sitting here. I played it one game the other day. It was a loss because my team was a bunch of morons. And it'll be up as a failed team video. But I think I blocked 4,000 and did 4,000 damage in my first game. And if just had a little bit of help, it would have been a win. But I didn't, and it wasn't. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. But it was a really high win 8 game. I'd have to go look, but it was 6,000 or 7,000 win 8. It wasn't even an ace either. I think it was only like a first class, which kind of sucks. But if we had won, it probably would have been an ace. Had just a little bit more help. I would have had, I think it was 4-on-1 at the end, maybe 5-on-1, and just had just a little bit. I don't know, just a couple other players play smart. I don't know if I love it. It has really long reload, which kind of sucks. But I have just a basic crew in it too. I mean, a couple skills. I don't have a ton of skills. Well, 4. So, I don't have one of my shittiest crews in it, but not a great crew either. So I guess it's half full, I guess, right? So I got a 50% crew, right? 50% of what it could be. I got a cough, so hold on, people. Apologize, but the yawning isn't a big deal, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me cough. And of course it's dark in here, so I can't find my remote thing. Hold on. Sorry. Ooh, sorry about that. Sorry. Where are we? E75. Oh yeah, I've already talked about that. Side-scraping monster. Oh no, I hadn't talked about the E75. I talked about the Tiger 2. Well, this is the E75. Same thing as the Tiger 2. Side-scrape your ass off. I had many games in this where I did 4,000 or 5,000 block and 3,000 or 4,000 damage, and then my team gets rolled. Seems like a common theory. Really good tank though. 4502B, another tank that's awesome. Side scraping monster. This tank is just... If you haven't played the E75 or the 4502B, you should play them both. The Mouse, I think I've only played this a couple games. Wasn't impressed. I don't know. It's basically just a big XP sponge. It's not a spectacular tank in any form of imagination. And usually, when I play against them, it's just, you get more XP than they do damage, so. E100, same thing. A lot of people say the E100 is awesome. I wouldn't like that camo. Let's see if I get it to change. Nope. Let's try this way. One more time. Nope. Shit. I'm not going to try anymore. I'm not a big fan. I haven't played it a lot, so I can't really say it sucks or anything else. I just think, from my limited games in it, it's overrated. You gotta constantly... You can't look at your opponents. You gotta constantly wiggle your turret like this and wiggle your hull, and it just seems like there's so many tier 10s that just punish this tank fairly easily. I don't remember what this is called. Panzerkopfwagen. I don't remember exactly. It's a 7201 basically. I mean, same pretty much tank. This is another side scraping monster and has pretty good armor. Sometimes you get raped, other times the armor works perfect. Same basic tank, but with the more of the butt raping cannon on it. Less accurate, less blah 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 blah, but more punch. I've only played it a few times. It works. Again, it's sort of like the last tank, kind of situational. If you have a team that sucks, you get surrounded, you're dead. Hetzer, we've kept the little Hetzer because when you're hetzing, you should hetz. I don't know. Just, if you can get into a bush and have a team in front of you that spots, and half the enemy goes that way, you can have a really good game. Dicker Max, never really loved this tank, bought it, and I played it a few times. I was like, ugh. Not impressive at all. E25, excuse me. This thing is the monster. The monster at tier 7, hiding in bushes and pecking away at people at 140 damage a shot. Problem is, a lot of the times, with the team sucking so bad, within a few minutes you're overrun. You gotta move constantly, and you lose. Even when you're... I had a game, if you look back at my thing, we were on Prokhorovka, and I was over in the bushes, and I spotted, I think it was 11. I know it was either 11 or 12 of the enemy. I got 0 spotting damage. Eventually, they were right beside me before they finally saw me, and I got one shot off that penetrated, and then I got killed. But they were all around me. There were like 5 tanks beside me that had actually driven by me in the bush, and that's when they spotted me. It can be a really good tank. I just watched a video of someone that had like a 6,000 or 7,000 damage game, I think, in it. And I'm like, I never get those games because every time my team folds around me before I get a chance. So I'm wondering if some of these games you see, I don't know. I won't go there. I'm just going to go. I'm not even going to go on that topic. I'm not even going to go there. Shut up, Bump. Shut up. Keep the video going. Javelin and this one right here, I think are the same pretty much tank. I won the Javelin. I actually think I won both of these in a loot drop or drop box or whatever. I think I tried to play the Javelin once. That's why there's a crew in it. And I had a fair game. I don't know, 2,500 damage or something like that. And it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I thought the gun would be more like a 350. I didn't pay attention to the damage output, and I'm sitting there putting 230, 210 shots at the tanks. I'm like, fuck, I might as well just go play the 𝐁𝐻𝐫𝐚𝐬 and go up a tier and then put, you know, smack people for 500. Which brings me to the 𝐁𝐻𝐫𝐚𝐬. This is, if you want to play ninja, one of the best ninjas in the game, and it packs the punch of Chuck Norris, but with the ninja skill ability of hiding. Played a lot of games in this back in the day. Don't play as much now because so many games are one-sided routes, and the maps just don't lend you to hiding. The only map right now that's out that's really good for hiding in the back is Prokhorovka, and you don't see that often. The rest of them just seems like they're more catering to lights, mediums, than anything else. Never played the 𝐁𝐮𝐫𝐚𝐬. I don't know. Never played it. Scorpion G. I've only played this once, and I had a fair, okay game. But at the end, it was like, again, me and 2 artilleries against like 7 heavies and 2 artilleries, and so I haven't played enough to actually give a good opinion. A lot of people love it. On computer, it's considered the best tank destroyer at tier 8 in the game. But we're not computer here. We're PC. I mean, we're not PC. We're console. And as every other tank comes, console fucking nerfs them. So, Iron Rain, I don't think I've ever played this yet. Yeah, won it in a drop box or whatever, Hero's Chest or whatever. I don't know, can't give you much. It reminds me of the 𝐁𝐁𝐫𝐚𝐬. Seems like it's the same gun, 490 alpha, 246 penetration. Yeah, so, but I believe this one's an auto loader, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I haven't played it, so pretty sure this is an auto loader version of the 𝐁𝐁𝐫𝐚𝐬. Awful Waffle Jr. Love this tank. Love this tank destroyer. Again, if you get on the maps, Sand River and Prokhorovka, where you can kind of hide and just pot shot everyone, it can be a disaster for the other enemy team. Yeah. No redeeming qualities at all. The grill, I think I've only played a couple. Actually, I think I only played 1 game in it, and had a very mediocre game, and I'm like, ugh, I just didn't like how it played. So, that is my German tech tree. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit short. We're already at 37 minutes. I want to keep it under 40, so if I sign off quick, it'll be under 40, and we'll all be happy. Well, at least I will be. I hope you will be. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Remember, when you're on that battlefield, shoot the enemy. Don't be a dweeb.